Yeah, thanks, Steve. And I hope listeners were able to hear some of what we've said over the course of the last half hour or so, because they do have a particularly powerful public address system at St Mary's Stadium. But don't worry, Steve, they're going to switch it off in a minute or two, and then we'll be able to make ourselves heard. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what the atmosphere is going to be like tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, firstly, I'm sure a lot of people will hope they keep the system up when I'm talking, mate. Anyway, after that, I think I'm a little bit like you. As I said 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'd have been thinking coming here, do you know what I mean? I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure this really floats the boat. But actually now, I'm sort of really looking forward to it. I've got to say, I think I'm really looking forward to seeing a reinvigorated Southampton play. And obviously West Ham up against it a little bit with the injuries, but just see how this game pans out. It's a very interesting one.
Yeah, interested to see who plays where for West Ham.
We're trying to work that out,
well.
weren't we?
And actually, just looking at our little screen here, they've got on the television have Snodgrass playing centrally and Dean Garner on the right hand side and Anderson sticking on the left, because we wondered whether Anderson might play a central role tonight for West Ham. So
they're not kind of free, are they, John?
I don't believe so, no. But what we think for a team, and it does look as though it will be Antonio at right back as well for West Ham. Let me give you a Southampton team. Their players are just going into a huddle at the moment. Alex McCarthy in goal, Bednarek, Yoshida and Vestergaard. Valerie and Target are the wing backs. Romeo and Lamina. Lamina's the only change for Southampton, coming in for the suspended Højbjerg. Armstrong, Redmond and Ings. And the West Ham team, I think it is a back four, Steve. Fabianski in goal, Antonio, Ogbonna, Diop and Cresswell. Cresswell's captain, incidentally, coming back into the starting lineup. Obiang and Rice. Dean Garner on the right. Snodgrass in the middle. Anderson on the left. And Lucas Perez up front. So there's no Hernandez. Chicharito is out with a hamstring injury. Balbuena, who's been a big part of what West Ham have done this season, he is out as well with an injury, but Lucas Perez is fit to play up front. Mark Noble's on the substitutes bench. That's why Cresswell is wearing the captain's armband. And here we go. The whistle goes. Craig Pawson blows it. And this match that marks the end of the first half of this Premier League season begins. And immediately Danny Ings chasing down a ball in the West Ham right back position that is being shielded by Antonio, who's only been able to clear it partially away, and then the clearance towards the halfway line is fired back forward, a flick by Redmond, then it's helped forward by Lamina. It bounces down centrally. Redmond trying to take it on, a crucial touch centrally, takes it away from him, from Ogbonna, and the ball's deflected out of play on the far side of the field for a throw into the home side. So we have Southampton under the tutelage now of the Austrian, the Klopp of the Alps, Ralph Hasenhüttl, who is there on the edge of the coaching area. He's overseen 2 very good victories in his second and third matches in charge. The 3-2 win here against Arsenal with that late goal from Charlie Austin, and that was the win that ended Arsenal's 22-match unbeaten run in all competitions. And then a tremendously valuable victory to win 3-1 at Huddersfield on Saturday. And it's the way that they played, the way that they scored their goals that caught the eye. Here is Lamina now for Southampton. Red and white striped fronts to their shirts. Thankfully red backs with the white numbers. And the ball is slipped forward on the left-hand side. Here it comes back. A left-footed shot, which is swung in brilliantly by Nathan Redmond. And goalkeeper Fabianski was able to just take a couple of steps to his right and pat it down. He was looking to whip it, bend it into the top corner, Steve Claridge.
He was, wasn't he? I mean, it was a really good move down the left-hand side. Got Target in, little pullback. I'm thinking on his worst foot, what's he going to do here? Is he going to take the shot first time? He does. A little bit of whip on it. A bit too close to the keeper, who just pats it down. Comfortable save, but a decent move inside the fullback there. And as I said, it's been a pretty frantic start.
Steve Claridge with us for the commentary tonight. First time you and I have worked together on a commentary this season. Thought it was never going to come this day, and here we are.
You were hoping, not thought.
Certainly not. On this actually quite cool night here next to the River Itchen. which is behind the stand that we're in. Ball played up towards Southampton's top scorer, Danny Ings, the number 9. Charlie Austin's on the bench, and here now he comes in and shoots into the side netting. Ings, some lovely interplay from Southampton, left side of the box. Target was involved, Redmond, and in the end Ings found a way through, but curled his shot from the angle into the side netting.
Yeah, the one thing you can't argue about Mark Hughes doing is buying Danny Ings, because he is a very, very decent player. He's, a lot of time we've said about the lack of goals at times at Southampton and lack of creativity, but he certainly goes a long way to answering those points.
Yep, he is still on loan actually, but the agreement is in place to buy him for approximately £8 million, Danny Ings from Liverpool.
That wouldn't be a bad buy at all, would it?
No, he's looked very good, hasn't he?
I think that might. Sure, is that concrete 8 million or is that flexible? Because I think Liverpool might want to have another look at that.
Steve, I think you and I know that in football everything is flexible.
Yes.
And of course there's no such thing as permanent, is there?
No.
This is Steve Claridge, currently the permanent manager of Salisbury, who are doing very well again this season, Steve.
Yeah, we're doing
pushing
okay.
for another promotion.
Hope so.
Yeah. Southampton 0, West Ham 0 here in the Premier League, as Southampton on the right-hand side with young Valerie, the 19-year-old right wing-back, just overhit his ball down the right-hand side for Redmond to chase, and it's through to Fabianski, who has the ball. Southampton 0, West Ham 0. Southampton, as I say, have won their last couple of matches, which has changed everything. This new ethos that Nathan Redmond was talking about on Match of the Day on Saturday night, and all of the things that he's done. Ralph Hasenhüttl said that it would be mind-blowing what he would do for the Southampton players over the course of his first couple of weeks in charge. He said there would be no rest in the early weeks for them. And he seems to have gone down very well with the supporters, which I think was helped by the buying of a free drink for them to celebrate the opening victory. Vestergaard playing the ball towards the left-hand side, and then Targett plays it back towards the tall Vestergaard with the long hair, and he's conceded a free kick. Just a little tug over on the far side, and West Ham have a free kick 10 yards inside the Southampton half on the far side, and they go back into their own territory. West Ham tonight wearing their change kit of the very dark blue with the claret trim and the yellow and blue socks.
I think you have to clarify, he didn't stand at the bar buying all the season ticket holders a drink, did he?
How disappointing.
No.
That would have been great.
No, he didn't quite do that.
And here, I'll tell you another one, said Ralph. Here, the ball down the right with Antonio playing as right back because of the problems that West Ham have. There's no Zabaleta tonight. He's not involved in the 18. And West Ham starting again. Here is the evergreen Robert Snodgrass, 31 years old now, Snodgrass. And now Declan Rice. Be interested to hear your thoughts on Declan Rice, who's very much a part of the West Ham starting lineup. Now the ball with Anderson on the left-hand side, the Brazilian, Felipe Anderson. 3 Southampton players around him. A little touch back towards Cresswell, the England international, who claims he was being fouled by Lamina. And then the ball forward from centre field, from Obiang. Now it's steered out towards the right-hand side by Diop. And Antonio in possession out there on the right-hand side. Diangana, young Grady Diangana receives the ball, and then the sliding challenge comes in on him to deflect it out of play. That challenge coming in from Matt Targett, throwing to West Ham near the corner flag. 0-0 on 5 Live.
Decent start.
Yeah,
good start. Yeah.
Well, we were expecting that, though, weren't we?
Yeah. As I said, one of those sort of interesting games that I think we're both looking forward to, and decent atmosphere as well.
When the Saints come marching in, ringing around seemingly full St Mary's Stadium.
It is, absolutely.
You expect that at holiday time between Christmas and the New Year, and it's a corner that's been won by Antonio. Snodgrass is going to swing it in. First corner of the match for West Ham. Here it is. Left foot swinging delivery. It's flicked on to Anderson at the back post, who chests it down, trying to work a shooting position, and then he runs into Redmond on the edge of the area. He was just waiting and waiting.
How many chances do you need to get your shot off, John?
Not enough. Snodgrass again on the right-hand side. Angles it back. Diangana, left-footed ball in with the outside of his left boot from the right, and it's deflected behind for corner.
Yeah, we're both looking at that a little bit sort of with mystified face as to why would you try and take that on with your left foot when all you've got to do is shift it onto your right and chip it up.
Well, it's a corner anyway, and Snodgrass again caused problems. West Ham with their first corner, the near post flick on. Here it is, another curling ball in, but that is comfortably and well headed away by Bednarek, the Polish central defender, and then it's overhit by Obiang straight away over everyone through for a goal kick to the home side. Southampton 0, West Ham 0.
I can understand why he would want to work on this shape, John, because this 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it, takes work. Doesn't just, you can get really exposed defensively when you play a three at the back. So you do need to know when to push the wing backs. Everything depends on your wing backs getting forward and getting back, and the positions they take and where they are in relation to the game. So that does take an awful lot of work, this system, to get right. Clearly they look, at this stage, they look reasonably comfortable in it.
Yep, they do. 0-0, very early stages. 8 minutes played, free kick for a foul on Snodgrass, just left of the centre circle. I mentioned the fact that Charlie Austin's on the bench, Shane Long as well for Southampton, but there's no Michael Obafemi, who one or two wondered whether might be in the starting lineup after scoring his first goal for the club at Huddersfield, but he's not in the 18. Now, I haven't heard the word why, but I am assuming that there might be a little knock in there. Southampton on Sunday, Manchester City come here, and if Southampton get a rousing result tonight, which is always possible, that would set that match up beautifully. And that is a 5 live commentary match on Sunday afternoon. You're not doing that one, are you?
No.
I think it might be effing a club.
I think one a year is enough for me, I think.
Well, we don't want to push you. Need to rest summarisers. Here's Valerie down the right hand side, ball in towards the edge of the box to Ings, but it bounces away from Danny Ings. He had two men around him, and it's deflected away through to Fabianski. Anyway, you'll have your Salisbury commitment to deal with. When's your next game? Saturday?
Yes, Saturday, and then
and who have you got on Saturday?
We have Poole Town away.
Right. Okay. And where are they on the table?
Well, they've got games in hand, but they've lost the last couple. They could have got themselves right in the picture, but they're going to have to win them games in hand now. So, yeah, hopefully.
Nearby, Poole Town. You'll be back down here, just along the coast.
Absolutely, yep.
Southampton 0, West Ham 0. Steve Claridge with us. Steve, who played in over 1,000 matches as a professional footballer.
Yeah, he's now feeling it officially as well. Not to worry.
Here, Southampton breaking from the back with Yoshida as West Ham move breaks down in centre field. Back it goes to Vestergaard, the Danish international, who turns and plays it all the way back to his goalkeeper Alex McCarthy. England international now, Alex McCarthy, after winning his first cap against the USA last month. Southampton captain tonight, Romeo, plays the ball to Redmond. This is nice, Southampton knocking it around nicely. There is that confidence. Target on the left hand side. Back it goes into Vestergaard, the 6'7" Vestergaard puts his foot on the ball, rolls it out towards the left hand side. Target is there, but Antonio is able to cut out his pass forward, but Target wins it back, and now Redmond plays it through for Target. Antonio has lost out to Target on the left hand side, angle back to Redmond, lovely touch from Redmond, but a ricochet, bounces away from him as Lamina arrived on the scene, and Ogbonna got there too, and then there's a foul here which the home crowd don't like, by Valerie on Anderson, and it's a free kick to West Ham.
Rice actually does really well there, John, as Redmond just drops his shoulder and allows the ball to come across. Does what all good defensive midfielders do. He's the one that sees the danger. He's the one that just gets that foot in to stop Redmond getting that shot off when everything looks set up for him to have a shot just centre of the goal, just inside the 18-yard box. But Rice, fantastic reading of the game there, and you were saying about him, I think he's going to be a really, really good player. He already is, but he's got a fantastic future. He's very, really versatile as well, isn't he?
Still just 19 years old. He's 20 next month. But the game at Watford at the weekend was his 50th game for West Ham. He's now started the last 14 matches. You know, that's so important. We say that all of the time, but as a teenager, to be able to be in a Premier League starting lineup. And of course his international future is still undecided. Has played 3 matches for the Republic of Ireland, but not in the competitive games. But he did meet with Mick McCarthy this month, the newly reinstalled.
He's a good reader of the game though, John, isn't he, for someone so young.
West Ham with the ball in centre field. Here is Obiang, who commits a foul, and it's a free kick. Free kick to Southampton, 15 yards inside their own half. Just a little foul on Danny Ings, and it's a free kick to Southampton, who are playing from left to right in the first half here. It's a cold, clear evening. The weather forecasters would say it's been a quiet day in Southampton today. Lovely sunshine. It's quite mellow around the place.
Yeah, it's been nice, hasn't it?
It has, very
I bet
nice.
there's 1 or 2 people who got a little bit caught out by how cold it has turned now, though, because it's quite warm today, actually.
Yes, it was. But
not a bad time to be the Southampton manager, John, by the way.
Because?
Well, I think
there's a crunching challenge by Diop.
Good challenge,
As
wasn't
the
it?
ball was taken forward by Stuart Armstrong over towards the left-hand side, but a good one, took the ball.
I don't think expectation is too high. I think if you play a decent bit of football, you will get enough results with this squad of players. I think there's time, we don't get a lot of it, to improve this team and this squad. I don't think there's a huge amount of expectation on as long as just to stay up, which clearly they're going to be good enough to do. And I just think he's got a little bit of time to work with this group.
Here's Armstrong again on the left-hand side, the Scottish
after
international.
what's gone on in the last couple of years. So
Armstrong's low ball into the area from the left was cleared away. West Ham break towards the halfway line. Snodgrass to the left-hand side to Dejan Garner, but Southampton quickly close him down. Dejan Garner does well though, but actually he found a way past the 2 Southampton men, Targett and Vestergaard, but actually chipped it straight out of play as he did so. So it's a throw-in to Southampton. Looking forward to seeing him as well. Very highly rated West Ham academy product. Dejan Garner, who has just recently made his debut for the England under-20s, although he was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but moved to London as a very young boy. And he's starting on the right-hand side of West Ham's midfield. It's 0-0. Yoshida lifts a high ball over the halfway line, bounces off Redmond. Romeo in with a challenge. Obiang comes out with it and then goes back to Antonio. And indeed further back to Ogbonna as well. And West Ham actually move it out to the left-hand side. Here's Manuel Pellegrini for the first time since the start of the match. In a warm coat, hands in his pockets, 65 years old now. Premier League winner with Manchester City, having spent the last couple of years with Hebei China Fortune. And I think the key word in that is fortune. Here is Antonio playing the ball forward. It takes a deflection. Yoshida is able to step across and then play it to Lamina, who rolls it forward towards Redmond, who's off and running, but then in comes the challenge from Felipe Anderson, who's actually swung the ball out towards the left-hand side and given it straight to Targett. Armstrong with a touch for Southampton. Romeo now very languidly chips the ball to Targett on the left-hand side. Now Armstrong, crunching challenge by Antonio on Targett, and referee Pawson allows it to go, and the ball runs out of play next to the corner flag for what is given as a goal kick. Thought there might have been a case for a foul there from that challenge from Antonio, but no.
I didn't know whether he was waiting for advantage or not there, but clearly there wasn't any. He didn't see it as we might have seen it. Seemed a little bit late, the challenge. I don't think either manager will be too disappointed with either side start, although we haven't had an awful lot of goalmouth action, John, yet, have we?
No, we've had the Ings effort into the side netting. Nathan Redmond's curling shot. And West Ham, Fabianski taking a terribly long time to take this goal kick, which he does eventually. And it bounces up towards Lucas Perez. He's simply not been in the game at all, Lucas Perez, who was a doubt for this with a foot injury. I do wonder whether he is absolutely 100% fit. Here's Anderson now. Obiang is able to pass the ball out to Antonio, and Antonio's low ball into the penalty area, cleared away by Vestergaard. Rice got there first. Now Cresswell takes it on. Cresswell, little touch to the left-hand side. Anderson lifts it over towards the penalty spot. Dejan Garner got his head to it, but no sort of header really at all. And it was easily cleared away by Targett as it fell to him.
Neat and tidy from both sides. As I said, I don't think either manager will be too disappointed with the start.
Well, they've had putting Saturday aside, losing at home to Watford. They have had a brilliant December.
Yeah, they have, haven't they?
4 wins in a row. And scoring goals as well. 11 goals in those 4 matches. And then it all came to a crashing end against Watford at the weekend. That's the Premier League though, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Who would have said that Arsenal would have lost their unbeaten record here?
Yes, of all places. That is still, by the way, the only match Southampton have won at home this season.
Yeah, they went I think they went a calendar year without winning a home game, I think. Or we might have won one, but I'm not sure. Like I say, it's just incredible for a side that relied so heavily on their home form.
Obiang goes
years gone by.
Clever sort of chip pass at pace to the edge of the area. Diangana is there, it's cleared away. Comes out, Snodgrass on the right hand side, left-footed shot from Snodgrass. McCarthy had to be careful with that because that was dipping, you could see, and he did. There was a little fumble from him, but it was close enough to him and he was able to gather it up. Yeah,
I don't know whether that was a little bit of soft hands as well. He doesn't want it to come back off a hard part of his body. He's just sort of almost cuddled it into him, hasn't he? And it stayed because he needed to make sure that didn't rebound off him.
That was classic Robert Snodgrass.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
seen him do that so many times over the years for his various clubs. Very good professional, isn't he? Here's Rice. Declan Rice moves away, looks very comfortable on the ball, Rice, in this midfield position. Can play at the back as well. Flick from Snodgrass, but that's to no one. Although Lamino is very slow in getting rid of that, and he's been caught in possession, but he's done well, he's won it back. And Southampton are away on another attack. Danny Ings, halfway inside his own half, dragged the ball back in centre field. And Southampton start off on another attack with Romeo. Now to Yoshida. Groans from the home supporters at the fact that it all came to something of a halt there.
There's no width on the right hand side, John, was there? That was the problem. They were looking for an out and there wasn't one.
Just to explain, this new Southampton setup, Redmond is playing quite centrally just off Ings. And here is Lamina, who gives it square to Redmond, 30 yards out. Redmond takes it on, gives it to the left-hand side. Armstrong is there on his right foot. Curling shot from Armstrong, but it didn't threaten to bend all the way back in from there. And Fabianski allowed it to go past him because it was heading several yards wide.
Yeah, you've got you've got 2 players just in behind Ings, haven't you? Armstrong and Redmond just playing in behind, certainly a little bit deeper. It's not a front 3, because those 2 are just tucked in, a little bit narrow, and in behind Ings. And Ings at the top of that trio.
Stuart Armstrong in his first season in English football after being one of the double treble winners with Celtic. 26 years old now, scored 3 goals this season.
Didn't get in at the start, did he?
No, that's right. But he has settled in now. He's another one. He started the last 8 matches in all competitions before tonight and has scored his 3 goals in the last 7 matches. Armstrong. Here's Redmond back towards Lamina. Armstrong was available, and in fact Lamina's pass was halfway between target and Armstrong, so it quite literally missed its target. Here is Rice in the centre circle. Rice to Anderson on the left. Anderson has the overlapping run of Cresswell if he wants to use it. Anderson does use Cresswell. Cresswell's ball across. Left-footed shot is scuffed wide by Lucas Perez from 10 yards.
Never really convinced, did he? Came to him, he's let it come to him. He hasn't strode onto it and gone and actually hit the ball. He's let the ball come to him. He's laid back. He's leant back a little bit, and I don't know. He's not really attacked the ball, and it's a horrible, sclappy miss hit that goes wide. When really, if he hits the target, he should score.
It's the best chance of the match.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity from penalty spot sort of area, clear sight on goal, and it's a horrible finish.
Yeah.
With his weaker foot, I hasten to add.
He's one of those as well who, I wonder how much he's been able to train this week, and is that a factor? We always say that.
Well, I can understand if you run him in the channel 60 times, but I'm not sure. But an opportunity like that,
You just put it in.
Yeah, I think no matter what, if you're fit enough to start, you're certainly fit enough to
put that in.
Yeah, stick that away.
Yeah, he did score a couple of goals in the win against Cardiff earlier this month. Has got 4 this season. The former Arsenal man, he was one of the many summer signings for West Ham, £4 million. Ball forward from centre field from Romeo, that was intercepted by Antonio. And here is Antonio again. He's another willing individual, playing it right back tonight, but he's off on a run now into the centre circle. I think he was fouled there as he played it up to Lucas Perez. Anderson's going to try a shot from 25 yards, but pulls it wide by 4 or 5. Goal kick, Southampton 0-0.
Possibly might be a bit lucky there, Ings, to get away with without
yellow card.
A booking, yeah. Anyway, he's had a good chat with the referee, so it's always a good sign for a player.
He has. Southampton 0, West Ham 0, and we have played just over half the first half. This is the latest of our 13 Premier League commentaries that we're bringing you on 5 Live over Christmas and the New Year period, and it all climaxes next Thursday night when we will bring you Manchester City against Liverpool. Thursday, 3rd of January, 5 Live, the place to hear Manchester City, Liverpool. Cheers, because Cresswell miscontrolled the ball out of play. And young Valerie, the 19-year-old, the French under-18 international, part of the Southampton Academy, he is being given his head at the moment. He started all 4 matches under Ralph Hasenhüttl. He had the ball on the left-hand side with Target, but Target's ball was perhaps needlessly cut out on the edge of the penalty area. Might have bounced through. Diop opted to volley it away, and actually it's made its way all the way up towards Perez, but Yoshida wins the ball in the air. Vestergaard up towards Ings, who is coming from an offside position. So it's a free kick to West Ham, halfway inside their own half, and it's still 0-0. Steve Claridge.
I would say I'm not disappointed, but I was probably expecting a little bit more from Southampton, and probably not quite as much as we've had from West Ham. So it's been a really, really even game. I've got to say, the one, as you said, the one real good chance falling to Lucas Perez, and wasn't able to take it. So it's been a decent game of football. It hasn't been exhilarating, but it's certainly been worth watching.
West Ham supporters in good voice. I think, did they just get a little wave from Manuel Pellegrini? I suspect that's what that cheer was all about. Manuel slowly turned to his right and raised a weary arm. Southampton have the ball back on the halfway line. Target looking for a 1-2 with Ings. Here's a forward run from Lamina, but Rice has gone with him and done really well, actually. Spotted the danger there from central midfield.
He was a real good reader of the game.
Yeah. And then Diangana plays it all the way back into his own penalty area, and West Ham can start again. It's moved across to Ogbonna, and here is the tall, shaven-headed Angelo Ogbonna, who has been on the bench for the last 3 matches, but with Balbuena out with the injury that he has, he's come back into the team. It's one of those nights where you can clearly see the player's breath on the Southampton air. Cresswell to take a throw just down in front of us. 25 minutes played, and still waiting for the first goal of this match, the final match of the first half of this Premier League season, with Southampton in 16th place in the table now, 15 points from 18 games. And again, I think probably more than ever before this season, if you're in that lower end of the table, if you're able to get as many points as games played, I suspect you will be safe this season. Throw into Cresswell.
It was never the case, was it, before?
No, you generally needed 1 or 2 more than that.
Well, like we said, I mean, it's a couple of wins, John, isn't it? I mean, as I said, without the 2 wins they've got, they'd have been stone rock bottom of this division. So, it just shows how things can change. And, if they were to win this game, they'd be 6 points clear of the relegation zone. 3 weeks ago, they'd have been bottom.
Yeah, Target, long ball forward for Redmond to chase, but Diop was able to play it back. Here's Lamina now in the centre circle. Romeo's ball through the middle. Ings turns away from Rice and Obiang. I thought Redmond might have been caught there by Rice. No free kick. Redmond looks at referee Pawson, but the play had gone. Lucas Perez now asking a lot of Diangana, and Vestergaard got there first and shielded it from the smaller man. In fact, everyone on the field is a smaller man than Vestergaard, and it was out of play for a throw, which
Southampton, John.
Pardon?
Even you, mate.
Even me, yes. Although I'm not on the field. Here's Valerie. Now it's taken up by Armstrong on the right-hand side. Has a good look. Here's the cross. Deep towards Target. It's won in the air, though, well by Antonio, who knew that Target was coming.
Yeah, good defending. You've got that sort of sixth sense that there is someone approaching. So he stands strong. It's an important header to win.
Yeah, and he had a target on his back. Fabianski cleared the ball away from the 6-yard box. Romeo puts in the challenge. And now Snodgrass fouls Lamina. No, it's not given us a free kick. That's enraged the Southampton fans. That's another one in a series of. The ball chipped by Diangana back towards the halfway line. Now it's with Anderson, Felipe Anderson, the dangerous Brazilian, West Ham's top scorer this season, beats Armstrong. Oh, and then a lovely chip towards the back post, Diangana. It's headed away though by Target. Comes out to Antonio, just outside the area. Left-footed shot, but he telegraphed that rather, and Redmond was able to get in the way of it and block it. Still West Ham in possession now. The ball comes over towards the left-hand side. Back towards Snodgrass, who's occasionally been on the right, but mainly playing in the centre in this injury-hit West Ham lineup. Ball is swung out from the right-hand side. Anderson suddenly appearing there to Cresswell. Anderson's now central, almost in the middle of the Southampton half. And now Rice rolls it out towards Antonio on the right-hand side. Antonio is up against Target in the Southampton left-back position. Brilliant stuff. Goes past him into the area and then pulls it across where it is cleared away by Yoshida. Excellent change of feet from Antonio there. Really good skill to go past Target as if he wasn't there. Now Cresswell's cross, that's a teaser, and it's headed wide at the back post by a diving Target. Corner West Ham.
Two really good passages of play from West Ham on either wing. First Antonio jinks inside, and in the end it's the last Dix defending that clears the ball, and that's a wonderful ball from Cresswell. Just doesn't beat his player, just gets half a yard, whips it in with his left foot, and you know, when you're facing your own goal like that as a Southampton defender, the best you can do is see it away for a corner, which he does.
Don't forget, they have won their last 2 away matches. 2-0 at Fulham, 3-0 at Newcastle, West Ham. Not lost away since October the 5th at Brighton. Here's the corner, Snodgrass in, headed up in the air, nodded back into the box by Obiang, and now hooked away by Danny Ings in the D, but not completely away. Redmond loses out in the air, unsurprisingly. Rice now back to Cresswell. Here's Anderson again on the left-hand side at pace, taking on the challenge that was coming in on him on the edge of the box from Valerie, and then had to cut it back, and Southampton are now breaking away. Ings, it wasn't going to roll for him, and he wasn't quite sure what to do. Went down on one knee initially, and Cresswell just came in and nipped it away from him.
He's probably the one player for Southampton, Lamina, who's possibly being asked to play a little bit further forward and a little bit more of a prominent role than he would. For me, he would be that sitter, that destroyer, and at times he's been asked to play a slightly more open game and ask him to do a little bit more with the ball than maybe he might want, because he's a really good player without it, I know that.
Nice from Cresswell, moving infield. Anderson now to Snodgrass,
and that's what I mean there. That exact
just bounced off
example there of Lamina, just seeing the danger, getting in front of Snodgrass like that. That's what he does well.
And it's out of play for a throw-in to Southampton halfway inside their own half. So we've had just over half an hour. They have been well matched, Steve.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, absolutely. As I said, probably was expecting a little bit more Southampton, and maybe surprised by how well West Ham have played so far, considering the amount of injuries that they've got.
And Ralph Hasenhüttl, who is all in grey, particularly tight pair of, are they tracksuit bottoms he's got on? Grey tracksuit bottoms. Yeah. As Sam Wallace was saying before the match from the Daily Telegraph, his colleague Oliver Brown wrote a really interesting profile piece, which was extremely illuminating. He went to Leipzig, all about how Hasenhüttl is a piano-playing, cycling walker, as the ball is played forward from centre field for the chase for Lamina, but he was always second favourite to get to that ahead of Fabianski, who was quickly out of the penalty area.
Really good move though, John, wasn't it? Really fluent move there.
And here is Armstrong, little ball through the middle for Redmond, but he looks to the heavens because Diop got there ahead of him. He's herring around though now, trying to close down Fabianski. Redmond. Fabianski clears, Vestergaard heads it forward. Now Antonio on the right-hand side. Antonio taking it on deep into Southampton territory down the right. Has to cut back though, check back, and give it further back towards the halfway line. So that's how you get on in management in Germany. You bring in the grand piano and you perform the odd recital. Where do you keep your grand piano, Steve?
Yes, very well hidden, unfortunately.
Can you play a musical instrument?
Can I play a musical instrument? I think the only attempt I made was on a flute, I think. That constitutes a musical instrument. I have no idea.
Much so. It very much does. Here's Valerie taking the ball down the right hand side.
Unsuccessfully, I hasten to add as well, but anyway.
And Rice blocks it out of play for a throw-in. Valerie takes this back, this throw-in to Bednarek. And now Romeo looks up, rolls it to his left. Armstrong, very fluid Armstrong. There's a flurry of applause here for the Southampton substitutes who are just moving up towards the corner flag to our left. The ball with, at the feet, the white booted feet of Vestergaard, who's going to go on a little foray forward here. And he gives it through the middle to Redmond. Redmond now at pace to Valerie, who couldn't get a touch on it, or the touch was only slight, and it ran away from him and through for a goal kick.
Yeah, he was under a little bit of pressure from Cresswell as well at the time. It's a pretty pacey pass, should I say, to take in your stride like that. But yeah, one or two good moments there for Southampton. So I'm not disappointed with their play. I just want to clarify that. Just disappointed that we maybe they haven't been as fluent as they might have been going forward, and maybe created the opportunities I thought they might. But I think that's due to West Ham as well, being really well organised and working hard as well. So.
Yeah, and this West Ham side, don't forget, they started the season by losing their first four Premier League matches. And there was all the talk, wasn't there, about whether Manuel Pellegrini was, not to put too fine a point on it, past it for the Premier League. But they've recovered extremely well under his canny management. Vestergaard to Target, who's struggling to keep that in. He did keep it in. Looked as though it was out from where we are. Rice.
Good play again, that from Rice. He just seems to pick every second ball, every loose ball.
Antonio. Diangana now in space on the right-hand side. Into the penalty area he goes, taken on by Target, and Southampton pass it away from inside their own penalty area after dispossessing Diangana, who had space there. Southampton lose it. Snodgrass into the penalty area, and then a sliding interception to tackle it away by Vestergaard. West Ham come again. Flick from Diangana. Here's Antonio, who's done really well actually from right back tonight, and then he's fouled as Lamina comes in with a challenge. Free kick to West Ham from out on the right.
There's a threat down both sides for West Ham. Certainly Anderson down the left, and then Diangana has done very well in position.
Should he have done?
I think he should have put the ball in a little bit earlier there. I think he's taken too much time. Antonio's been a threat down that right as well, combining well with him. So yeah, I think in the space that he had, rather than trying to pick someone out, is to put it into an area and make Southampton defend facing their own goal, which he didn't do, and in the end he was closed down. Antonio's
name being sung by the West Ham fans in the same style that the Chelsea fans used to sing the name of Antonio Conte. Free kick then, out on the right. Anderson to take this. Got a good angle, chips it towards the edge of the area, gets it all
Give us a clue on that one.
Gets it all wrong, and Valerie had an unchallenged header away, but Cresswell slides in and wins the ball back from Valerie, and now Cresswell's deflected cross is half volleyed away by Yoshida all the way up to Ings near the halfway line. Ings turns, Ings swings it to Redmond pulls it down, but quickly in with a challenge is Diangana. However, Redmond has been able to work it to Armstrong. Now back to Redmond. They warned him that Anderson was coming, and then Armstrong back to Redmond on the left-hand side. Redmond scoops his left-footed cross, and that's easily cleared by Ogbonna on the edge of the West Ham penalty area, and it's still 0-0 on BBC 5 Live.
That balance, John, quite right, of when they do get in the advanced areas, getting enough men into the box to support Danny Ings.
Referee plays an advantage after Romeo was fouled. He's okay, he's back on his feet. Romeo again, space on the left-hand side. Target arrives in it. Target now ready for the cross to the near post.
Who's in the box?
Ings at the near post claimed he was pushed there. He claimed he was pushed by Diop. He turns, arms apart to referee Pawson, who wasn't interested.
No, but the actual ball in was a good ball in, and it's cleared centre of the goal, but there's nobody else in the box aside from Danny Ings there. Got to get more men arriving into that box.
West Ham now attacking. Anderson tries to scoop it forward for Snodgrass, but Bednarek was too tall. Romeo is easily dispossessed by Rice. Shrugged off the ball, Romeo. And now Snodgrass takes over from Rice. Rolls it out to the left-hand side. And now Anderson chips it into the area, but McCarthy allows it to bounce through for a goal kick. Who are you talking, Steve, in terms of who should have been in the penalty area for Southampton?
Well, I think if Redmond is making the run, and Redmond's the one who's actually out on the left-hand side, and he's putting the ball in. Ings has made that run into the box. This is where you've got Romeo and Lamina, and neither of them want to really get past the front player or get into the box. There's your little bit of an imbalance with regard to your two players.
Just seeing again.
No, I don't think that's a penalty.
The shout that Ings had for a penalty.
I don't think that's a penalty, mate. Do you?
I don't.
No.
We've not had a brilliant view of it there from the two replays, but they were both arriving at pace.
Yeah, and
Diop for West Ham.
There wasn't an outcry from too many others, was there? All the crowd, really.
No. He's a big guy, Diop, isn't he? 6'4". He's 21. 22 next week, as it happens. Another of the big summer signings from Toulouse in France. Here is Redmond on the right-hand side. Redmond with the cross to the near post. It's gone a long way past Armstrong's run, and it's cleared away by Ogbonna. Southampton again. Valerie back to Lamina, and Lamina is challenged and loses it. Now West Ham are pouring forward now. Snodgrass and Anderson almost together, shoulder to shoulder, the two of them down the left hand side. Anderson turns, gives it to Diangana inside the penalty area, but Vestergaard comes across, and the final touch was off the West Ham man, Diangana.
Look at Lucas Perez there. He's absolute man over. He's going absolutely bonkers at Anderson there. It's just, if he sees him, he takes that back three of Southampton completely. He's in there down the right hand side on his own. He just doesn't get his head up and see that pass there, Anderson. We've just seen three great balls into that West Ham box. No one's attacked it, John. That's always the difficulty, is the balance of getting enough people into the box, but also getting, being nice and tough to play against and tough to beat, but also getting a threat when the ball goes in. We've seen three great balls into the box, cleared from the centre of the goal on each occasion, and not one person going in and attacking it.
But if you're expecting Redmond and Armstrong to be so much part of the build-up,
yep,
you're asking a heck of a lot, and this to be in there as well.
Absolutely. What you've got to have is if Redmond's one side, you've got to have Armstrong coming in and making the extra man for Ings, because in all honesty, Romeo and Lamina are never going to get there. It's just not their role. It's just not the way they play. So you are then, the emphasis really is on the two players just in behind.
Or the wing backs.
Yeah, but it's a lot to ask for a wing back.
Yeah. Target has got himself into that position once already in this game. Here is Target, ball forward, but that's straight at Antonio, and Diangana and Antonio are able to combine together. That was good from Antonio again as the challenge came in. He was able to flick it away back to Diangana, who's making good ground down the right hand side, but West Ham go back towards the halfway line. It's a lovely night for football.
Yeah, it is. The wind is always a killer, isn't it, when you're playing football? But
yeah, and often here as well, it does get windy here, very close to the River Itchen. Lots of big ships or boats or whatever they were.
Swirls around the stadium.
Yeah, it's like that on the coast. Here's Diangana, then Antonio. It's a sort of haze, isn't there, in the air? Can you see it hanging underneath the floodlight? Back the ball goes towards the halfway line. And Cresswell infield towards Anderson. There's Snodgrass. Half time approaching. 3.5 minutes plus added time. Still 0-0. And Target now reaching high and heading the ball out of play, where it's fielded by a spectator who leaps from his seat to his right and catches it.
Interesting to see what Busenhattel does with whether he does actually take one of the sitting midfielders off. And
Cresswell, good looking cross, that's cleared away by Vestergaard, comes out to Snodgrass, and Snodgrass passes it straight to Armstrong in the D, who clears for Southampton.
That's great. I mean, that's an absolutely fantastic ball in. I mean, it just hits a space, hits he puts it into an area and just says, go on then, go and attack that. He doesn't look for anybody, he doesn't get his head up, he just gets a yard and he knows exactly where he's going to put that ball. That's a second wonderful ball in from him.
Excellent clearance by Vestergaard.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, that's what you're talking about, great positioning as a defender.
Yeah, not quite sure how he was able to clear it in the manner that he did to the edge of the area. Cresswell playing it to Anderson now on the left-hand side. Anderson up against Valerie, back onto his right foot. He was looking for Cresswell, but Anderson was able to maintain possession. Rice, the West Ham fans wanted him to shoot from 25 yards. Antonio will, but he shoots into his teammate, Diangana, and it deflects away wide of the goal and behind for a goal kick to Southampton, and it's still 0-0, Steve Clary.
Yes, and you can see why, the way that Southampton are playing. When they do get in good areas and when good delivery goes into the box, unfortunately there are very few people that want to go and attack it and want to take a chance, and he might actually be that he has to take Romeo or Lamina off and put somebody, maybe who is going to break into the box and get past things and be more of a threat when the ball comes in, because certainly the quality hasn't been lacking. It's just the amount of bodies getting in there.
Yep.
And from a West Ham perspective, I mean, they've been neat and tidy, and they probably look the side more likely to score.
Thoughts turning to half-time, and at half-time on 5 Live we're going to hear from Gareth Southgate, actually, an excerpt from the interview that Gareth Southgate's done looking back on the year that has almost ended for England, that he did with Gabby Logan, and it is an interview that you can watch via the BBC iPlayer, but we're going to play you a chunk of it at half-time, looking back on, well, you can imagine what. Here is Southampton winning the ball back on the left-hand side. Careless by West Ham, flick to Ings, left side of the box. Ings turns it back, but that's cut out by Obiang. But West Ham haven't cleared it, and eventually they do through Ogbonna. Little careless from West Ham there. They nearly got themselves into a big deal of bother. But they're breaking away with Anderson, and Anderson flicks the ball over the top for Lucas Perez to chase now. He was onside. He made a run across the back line. Perez, edge of the area, across to Anderson. Anderson rides the challenge from Romeo. Snodgrass is in, curls it wide as he falls to his left.
Really good position for Lucas Perez there, and his ball to Anderson is woeful. Not enough pace on it, never going to get there. Luckily for West Ham, Snodgrass picks it up, and in all honesty, from our angle here, John, which is a difficult angle because we're looking across the goal, that didn't look a million miles away, I've got to say. With his left foot, you can imagine that ball coming back towards the goal as he's hit it. Yeah, it does, but it's never coming back quick enough.
Yeah, 2 or 3 feet. It was bending back in, but nowhere near enough.
Quick enough, mate.
So you will hear from Gareth Southgate shortly, because the half-time whistle goes here at St Mary's Stadium. Southampton 0, West Ham 0. Lucas Perez had the big chance of the first half, but some nice stuff actually from both teams.
Absolutely. It's been, aside from that one chance, it's been a pretty even game. Both sides, I think, will be happy with the way they've played. Just I think Southampton might be a little bit disappointed in the lack of creativity, but as you said, it's a decent game of football so far.
Yep, so half-time here, Southampton 0, West Ham 0. Yep, Steve just sitting to my left across the aisle. Southampton 0, West Ham 0 as the second half begins here. Still hundreds of people, possibly thousands, retaking their seats and hurrying back. First half was okay, not outstanding, and we are still waiting for the first goal of this final Premier League match of the first half of the season. After tonight, everyone will have played 19 matches, and no changes from either team at half-time. Southampton, the red and white striped shirts or shirt fronts, black shorts, black and red socks, playing from right to left. And here's Nathan Redmond. I'll run you through the teams in full in a moment or two, but the tall Vestergaard steps forward and rolls the ball down the left-hand side to left wing-back Target, who's able to swing his foot around it. Ings couldn't get a proper head to the ball. It just glanced off his forehead and through, and was touched back to goalkeeper Fabianski in the visiting goal. So the Southampton team, McCarthy in goal, Bednarek, Yoshida and Vestergaard, the 3 central defenders. Valerie and Target are the wing-backs. Romeo and Lamina, Armstrong, Redmond and Ings. And West Ham, this injury-hit West Ham tonight, Manuel Pellegrini's named only 6 substitutes. There's no Balbuena, there's no Hernandez, there's There's a foul on the far side, a free kick to West Ham just inside Southampton territory. No Zabaleta either. The West Ham team, Fabianski in goal, a back four of Antonio at right back, Ogbonna and Diop, the central defenders, Cresswell at left back, and then in midfield, Obiang and Rice centrally, Diangana on the right, Anderson on the left, Snodgrass mainly central, and Lucas Perez up front, who missed the chance of the match so far. That was the one outstanding chance to score the opening goal that was missed by Lucas Perez. Anderson still on the ground, Steve Claridge, but he's getting to his feet now.
Bednarek, that was a pretty stern challenge, should we say. A little bit missed time. He's gone through with it. The ball was flicked round him, and he's just continued his challenge into Anderson, and obviously Anderson gone down under a fair amount of
he's not
force.
happy. He's
no, it was a pretty strong challenge, I've got to say. I mean, he's missed the ball completely and gone straight through Anderson.
He's pulled up the left side of his shorts. He's been leaning forward. The ball is hit out towards him by Fabianski, but Valery got there ahead of him. In fact, he barely moved for it. Anderson, just keep an eye on him. And Southampton winning the ball back on the halfway line, but it bounces to Obiang, who's able to turn and give it to Antonio. Antonio did well from right back in the first half. Here's Diangana, the 20-year-old academy product. West Ham still producing them. Now Antonio again on the right-hand side. Important step forward from Vestergaard, who keeps it in as well. Takes Antonio out of the game with his pass to Armstrong. Armstrong's ball over the halfway line for Redmond to chase. Out to the left-hand side here. There's no one centrally. Ings and Lamina are eventually getting there. And then in comes the challenge from Ogbonna to put it out of play for a throw-in on the left here for Southampton.
Good defending. His defending's got better the last couple of years in the Premiership, I think.
You'd say that, would you?
Yeah, I think it has. Getting better, should I say. Went through a real worrying period, actually. But
certainly got better at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Here's a throw from Target. Redmond back to Target again. Redmond. West Ham suggesting that Redmond might have been offside. Flag. There is no flag on the far side. Cleared away by West Ham in any case, out of play. And here is Ralph Hasenhüttl, who steps forward.
I think the managers have a big part to play today. And when will they release the shackles? When will they actually make positive changes? When will they actually say, right, I'm going to have a little pop for this? I mean, West Ham probably would take this, I would imagine, coming here under the circumstances. But it'll be interesting to see when he makes the changes for Southampton, and who they are, and
Charlie Austin on the bench.
What they are.
Long as well. Ward-Prowse. Southampton though coming forward with Valery, who tried to slip it across on the edge of the area to Ings. It was cleared away to the right. Here's a deep cross though to the back post, where Target got his head to it. Armstrong shot blocked. Romeo with an effort, bounces from Redmond. He makes the save. There's no flag. Redmond's follow-up. It's scrambled in. Redmond was there. He's able to force it over the line, and the goal stands. And Southampton are in front. And West Ham, the defence seem to be standing like statues, but the players allowed to go on, and in the end it was scrambled in by Nathan Redmond, who makes it 2 goals in 2 matches, and it's Southampton 1, West Ham 0.
I mean, we're looking at the game, and I think there's still, even now, Fabianski's gone over to the linesman to say, how can he not be offside? I think everybody else probably is feeling the same way. I mean, as the ball comes in, there's certainly no one offside originally. Target heads it back down. No, he's clearly onside.
There's a player on the ground, but as it's shot forward to Redmond, he shoots, then there's a follow-up. Redmond scrambles it in. And I think perhaps the issue was that Target was on the ground.
Yeah. But not interfering,
So Southampton have the lead. Funny, isn't it, how luck goes and fortune in football. Southampton, who had such a struggle really in the opening months of this season, and then the change of manager, Mark Hughes, earlier this month, dismissed, and Ralph Hasenhüttl comes in, and the team scores a goal like that here at St Mary's to take a 1-0 lead early in the second half.
I think it's Antonio that's actually playing him on, in all honesty. And we talk about, we said about Fabian Delph playing left back, and actually when you're asking them to defend in the position and all that, and this time, as much as Antonio's been fantastic going forward, he's probably 3 or 4 yards deeper than he should have. He should have come up as the back four came up, as the ball came in. He hasn't. He switched off. Because of that, Southampton, and Redmond in particular, has managed to get in and score the goal. And that's where, when you play players slightly out of position, when you are actually asking them to defend and asking them to work as a unit, it's not something that they do naturally, and they've been caught out a little bit there, West Ham.
So we can update those statistics. So before Ralph Hasenhüttl took over as manager this season, Nathan Redmond, no goals and 1 assist, as the ball is played over the top for Lucas Perez to chase, and Valerie was able to get back and get a touch to it first as it spun away from him, out of play for a throw-in down the left-hand side, which is taken by Anderson. And now Cresswell. Anderson back to Cresswell. Cresswell's curling cross, headed away by Yoshida, who got it well, only out to Anderson. A shot into the net! Brilliant shot from Felipe Anderson. He struck that so sweetly with his right foot. McCarthy was beaten at his near post down to his right, but it just flashed in low, and it's 1-1. And within 2 minutes, West Ham are level, 1-1.
London buses, John, isn't it? We barely had a strike on target. No, we get 2 in 2 minutes. Unbelievable. I mean, he has looked like the one who would open the door for them. We've got to say, we spoke about Declan Rice defensively, brilliant. But this fella has been the one that has looked like going forward, he'd be the one who could, as I said, open the door. That is a fantastic strike. Really is. Absolutely no chance. I mean, it's not a million miles off McCarthy, but absolutely barely gets down to it before it's past him. Such is the power of the shot. Wonderful strike.
Yeah. It was beautifully positioned for the shot, wasn't it? Just slightly behind where he would have wanted it, which meant that he could get that extra power on it. West Ham are going to make a change. Dean Garner is coming off and Andy Carroll's coming on. So whether there's a problem with Dean Garner, he doesn't look right, does he? No,
it's got to be a problem with him.
So Andy Carroll, who's on as a substitute for the 5th time this season, so didn't come back until November from what was his 12th different injury as a West Ham player, had an ankle operation, returned, come on as a substitute now in the 5th consecutive match, yet to score this season. So what are West Ham going to do now?
There's nothing wrong with him. I'm looking at him, he's not got an ice pack, he's not hobbled off, he's not been seen by the physio, he's not gone down the tunnel, just took his place, shook everyone's hand, took his bottles, and that was it. So that is a strange substitution, John. That really is.
That is a strange one.
You've just got back into the game, and you're relatively comfortable. Just go and stick 2 up front, and obviously open the game up. Surprised. I think Andy Carroll's just announced his arrival.
First challenge of the game, and he's let Oriol Romeo know he's there. And it's a free kick to Southampton, and referee Pawson picks up the ball, walks across to Andy Carroll and just says to him, in fact it's a drop ball. He's actually dropped the ball and allowed Carroll to take it back. He stopped the ball obviously because he felt that there was might have been a head injury to Romeo, but clearly felt it was a fair challenge. Right, 1-1. West Ham back in business with Rice, and now Carroll puts in a challenge on Romeo and catches him. It's a free kick to Southampton near the edge of their own penalty area. On Romeo again. Andy Carroll walks across and leans over him and just checks to see he's okay. And referee Pawson will have another chat with Andy Carroll.
He's been really lenient, Craig Pawson. I mean, to be fair, he set his stall out early doors about not booking people. So, that sort of changed. But he obviously didn't see the first one as a foul. That clearly was. So he's probably thinking in his mind that's the first one rather than the second one.
Yeah. And they are playing 2 up front now, aren't they? It is 4-4-2 that West Ham are playing.
Yeah.
Lucas Perez and Carroll up front. Anderson on the left, Snodgrass on the right. And 1-1 the score. That is an interesting move, isn't it, by Pellegrini?
To do it so quickly after the goal.
1-0 down in the 51st minute, Nathan Redmond scoring, and then Felipe Anderson in the 53rd. And the Brazilian's now scored 6 goals in his last 9 appearances. What a run of form that is. Snodgrass playing the ball over the top for Anderson to chase.
Decent player though, John, isn't he?
Very good.
Even in the small excerpts we've seen today, you can see why and how he's done so well.
Club record signing, could eventually cost £42 million, Felipe Anderson, but that is the going rate these days. Here's Redmond, back towards Armstrong. Armstrong breaking away. Lucas Perez tugging back at him, but Armstrong's done well, and he's been able to find Redmond. Redmond couldn't trip his way into the penalty area because the challenge came in on him.
Good defending, wasn't it?
It was.
And he's got 1 against 1 2 or 3 times. It's Obiang and stood firm.
And it was blocked out of play for a throw-in that'll be taken by Targett. Just down to our left here, Targett. Armstrong takes it up on his right foot. Curling effort! Diving save. Full length. He had a good view of it, Fabianski. He leapt out and with his left palm pushed it around the post.
Nice height. He's got plenty of time to get across, John, hasn't he? But it's decent effort. Decent effort.
Once upon a time, they might have called that a photographer's save, but I think that would not have done him justice there. He got a good sight on it though and made good ground to his left.
Yeah.
And a leaping save. So it's a corner. This is Southampton's first corner of the match. The left wing back, Targett, is going to take it. Matt Targett, local lad, born in Eastleigh, not far away from here. And he will swing it in left-footed from that far left corner as we look from where we are. In it comes over the top of Vestergaard and headed away. Comes out to Armstrong, drills it back into the box, but blocked on the edge of the penalty area. West Ham are away on the counter-attack. It's Antonio. There are 4 runners in the middle. Antonio finds Anderson. 1-on-1. Scores! West Ham lead by 2 goals to 1, and Anderson scored them both. Brilliant breakaway. Southampton couldn't live with it, and West Ham celebrate in front of all of the Hammers fans in the stand to our right. Southampton 1, West Ham 2.
Well, I mean, can you believe the organisation there, John, from Southampton, to leave themselves that open from that sort of situation? I mean, that begged belief. I mean, they're on the attack, but a shot, Armstrong's had a shot, it's been blocked on the edge of the box, and from there West Ham have got 3 and 4 men over on the break. I mean, I just don't understand how they've managed to get themselves in that situation. To be fair, they played it brilliantly and it's a wonderful finish, but I'm just not sure that Southampton are organised from their own corner, and that's probably what they'll find it most frustrating.
Well, what a turn of events. That is 3 goals in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And West Ham scored there too in the space of 6.
I think we'll see a change as well from Southampton, I think someone will come on and give them a little bit more thrust up front.
This wasn't supposed to happen, was it? After the 2 wins in a row for Southampton, the feel-good factor that we talked about, the new ethos. But West Ham have come here, having won their last 2 away matches in the Premier League, and are now in position to win 3 consecutive away games. It would be 5 wins in 6 matches in the Premier League as well, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've still got just under half an hour to play. Southampton 1, West Ham 2.
Plenty of football left in this one, isn't there?
Plenty.
Fantastic. What a bag. It was a very watchable game of football first half, but as in most games, second half, they've moved up another level. Really, really good stuff.
And now make that Felipe Anderson, 8 goals for the season, all of them in the Premier League, 7 in his last 9 appearances. And
whatever he's got to do to get to 42 million, mate, he's going to get there, isn't he?
He's going to get there.
Yes.
He might get there before the end of the year.
Yes, absolutely. What the provisos are. Won't take long for that young man to get there.
No. Yoshida turns and puts the ball out of play. Great turnout, by the way. We haven't said this, from the West Ham supporters at holiday time. Here is the change, and Danny Ings has been taken off. And Shane Long coming on.
Really?
Is
that another surprise for
yes,
you?
I thought Charlie Austin was a certainty.
Well, not that. Would you not have thought that he would have left Ings on?
Yeah.
And taken Lamina or Romeo off? I don't get that one.
Unless
I really, really don't get that one.
Unless Ings has a problem.
No, I'm disappointed with that substitution. I've got to say, we'll see how it works out. But the one thing that they've lacked is bodies in the box, and I just don't see how that's going to change if you don't get somebody else up there with Ings.
And this is Shane Long. Well, here's Snodgrass into the penalty area. Vestergaard comes across him, blocks him.
No.
Snodgrass goes down, and referee Pawson not in the slightest bit interested. It's at the West Ham end, and they were howling.
You just won't get that, John. You won't get a penalty for that. You know, you might get a free kick on the halfway line if you're lucky, but you just will not get a penalty for that sort of challenge.
So it's 2-1 to West Ham. That's a good ball from Target to Redmond, but Redmond's cross is blocked. A sliding interception by Issa Diop. Corner.
Fantastic defending that, because that was, it's the first time Southampton have really got in behind that West Ham defence second half, and that is a really, really good covering challenge there.
Not half. Just seeing a replay of Snodgrass's little move into the
You're
area.
Not get that,
he ran into Vestergaard.
Yeah, you're not going to get that.
So it's a corner. Armstrong to take it for Southampton, and Fabianski comes out of his 6-yard box and makes a good catch. Southampton player Vestergaard has stayed down in the box, one of their defenders. West Ham are away on the break here again, just after a Southampton corner. Antonio couldn't find the pass to Snodgrass, and now Southampton might be in business. It's over the halfway line for Armstrong, and the fair-haired tall Scotsman takes it on down the left-hand side and plays it square. Lamina, backwards pass from Lamina. You can hear the reaction, and then Vestergaard has lost possession, and then Anderson has given it away with a...
I don't know why you wouldn't take Lamina or Romeo off. It's not that sort of game anymore now.
And then Lamina and Carroll collide in centre field. Armstrong curling a high pass out to Target, who takes it down nicely and plays a really good ball in right across, pulled back across by Valerie, and then blocked behind for
going in. Still only one person attacking it. You've got someone else who's saying it. Long goes across the front post. Why isn't Ings going to get in at the far post and score a goal there? I don't get that substitution. I really don't understand that. The ball, we've seen that so many times, John, in this game. The ball has gone across the West Ham box. Really good ball in, quality ball in, and they just have not got the bodies attacking the quality of ball like that.
That pass from Target diagonally across the 6-yard box.
Brilliant.
Is just begging.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the corner. Curling in towards Fabianski, who makes a comfortable catch again, secure in the air. Vestergaard was closing in on him, and as we've mentioned, that is quite a thing to have him closing in on you. And he's just running past Andy Carroll now. Vestergaard towering over Andy Carroll, which tells you all you need to know. Southampton 1, West Ham 2 is the score on this Thursday night. Fabianski playing the ball out towards the left-hand side. Live sport tomorrow night is Rugby Union on 5 Live. We've got the Northampton-Exeter match. That's what you'll be listening to if you tune in to 5 Live tomorrow evening. And actually on Sports Extra tonight, coverage continues, the commentary continues in association with our Australian colleagues ABC of the Australia-India-Melbourne Test.
Got to go for the ball.
Target has put in a challenge here on Antonio, and it's a yellow card. That's the first of the match. Vestergaard is protesting.
It's a legitimate challenge. He's basically, Antonio has gone across and Target's come through. It's not high, it's just a little bit, gets there just slightly after Antonio, but it's a side foot challenge. It's not even done with the studs. It's not dangerous. It's in the context of the game, John, and some of the challenges we've seen that haven't been bookings, I think that's harsh.
Free kick, nevertheless, to West Ham, who lead by 2 goals to 1. And the man who's scored both of the West Ham goals, Felipe Anderson, this 25-year-old Brazilian, is standing over the ball. Looks as though he's going to tap it to Snodgrass, which he does now, and then Anderson crosses high towards the back post, header down for Southampton, and then the clearance away, swept out on the half volley out of play on the far
Strange
side.
free kick that, John, because that's one of those sort of hanging free kicks. There's no pace on it. Instead of whipping the ball in, coming round with your right foot and whipping it across it with a little bit of pace, so if you do get a West Ham head on it, the pace is already on it. That was sort of just a ball played up in the air with no real pace. Really going to struggle to do anything with that sort of ball in.
2-1 West Ham lead. Here's one downfield though. This is for Shane Long to chase. He's not scored, Shane Long, in his last 17 Southampton appearances. Long. Lamina. Couldn't find the pass through to Long. It was cut out on the edge of the box.
Good area again, wasn't it, for Lamina to exploit.
Ball played forward by Obiang, but
just not his strength.
Lucas Perez won't reach that.
No, he's more of a destroyer than a creator. I think with Romeo and him in there, I think it's almost overkill in that respect. Don't think they need somebody who's going to open the door, be a little bit more creative. In that situations, that little bit of quality could have got Long in.
Here is Redmond now, chesting the ball down after the pass from Romeo. Redmond's pass to Valerie doesn't reach him. And West Ham playing in this change kit, blue shirts, blue shorts with claret trim. Have Anderson away down the left-hand side. Anderson into the penalty area, works it across. Lucas Perez with a shot that is deflected wide by a diving Vestergaard. And the Southampton defenders are asking the question, how did Anderson get away down the left-hand side
Great
like
play.
that?
Really, really good play from Anderson again. I mean, fantastic run, and to be fair, that's an even better chance than the first half. I think.
Really?
I think that is. Yeah, because there's not the pace on it, John. Bang. Yeah. No, I get what you are. I just didn't. It looked like the perfectly weighted ball, but it's great defending from Yoshida and Westergaard.
Yeah. Here's the corner, which is headed forwards by Ogbonna, and it bounces down. Double deflection there, and the referee Pawson says the second one.
That might have been a corner, that actually, but
well, it's given as a goal kick. Given as a goal kick to Southampton, and McCarthy passes it out from the back.
Open game now, isn't it? By the way,
very much so.
Fantastic.
As the likes of us say, the next goal is absolutely crucial. 2-1 to West Ham here at St Mary's. Southampton coming forward along with a stretch. No one got a touch. Now it's pulled back across by Target, but blocked.
Wonderful quality ball in. Wonderful quality, and that's what people are clapping around the stadium about. It's a fantastic ball in again. Time and time again that's happened, and time again there's only been one Southampton player that's actually got in and tried to attack it.
Just there, Steve, I thought that was a decent ball as well by Target there, looking for the run of Long through, but it didn't come from Long, so it just rolled through to
I wouldn't say that he would be probably why he's gone so long without a goal, in all honesty. I wouldn't say anticipation would be his strong point, in all honesty.
Yeah, you don't question his work rate. He's
no, absolutely not.
Here's Lamina now centrally. Lamina laid it off to Armstrong, but passed it straight to Snodgrass. And now West Ham
should have been the one that he took off, John.
Lamina
really shouldn't have taken Ings off. I don't understand that, not for the life of me. Should have took Lamina off.
We'll ask him the question afterwards. You'll hear that on 5 Live later. Here is Anderson. Oh, another good looking cross. Andy Carroll backs away, chests it down, plays it back to Antonio. They want him to shoot. Antonio though passes it straight to Yoshida on the edge of the Southampton box, but Yoshida's pass is taken down by Diop on the halfway line, and now Snodgrass is off down the right hand side. Stretch from Andy Carroll. That was a little laboured, but he almost got it back to Snodgrass had it not been for Vestergaard coming across.
Two centre-halves done well for West Ham, John.
Yeah,
they both played well, even when they've been isolated. Times when Redmond has got a run on both of them, and they both stood up strong and not allowed him past. Good defending, that is.
Yeah, Diop playing as the right-sided one, Ogbonna as the left. Throw in Antonio, who was actually a Southampton player briefly on loan during that time when he had several loan moves. Here is Antonio now up against Romeo, who puts in the challenge, and well, that's been given as a Southampton free kick, and I think the assistant has flagged it. I must say, I thought it was going to go the other way for West Ham, but it's Southampton's.
I think both players would probably agree with you by the looks on their faces, John.
Yeah.
Still, there we go.
What's happened to your television? Have you switched it off?
No, we're up and down, mate. Right, just come on very briefly.
Well, you
and went straight off.
You would sit there. The one over here is working fine.
Right.
It's Redmond and Vestergaard.
I wasn't coming to you for sympathy, John, anyway, so don't worry about that.
Concede a free kick, and Perez takes it away. I'll just explain that one for listeners when we get a chance. Here is West Ham coming forward with Cresswell, their captain on the night. Cresswell's ball across, cleared away by Yoshida, and Valerie was able just to allow the ball to run past him and clear it away under pressure from Anderson. I must say, I think the greater threat of the next goal is coming from West Ham rather than Southampton.
Certainly, yeah.
But don't rule out the Southampton equaliser by any means, because some of their build-up play has been really
good.
Nice.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just the finish, John.
Yeah.
You know, half the problem when you get in those situations, the quality delivery in, but there's been nothing lacking in that sense. There you go,
another good pass from Target, another good cross curling. Both Long and Armstrong were in there this time, but again, good defensive work from the two West Ham centre defenders.
Always. I mean, they're almost expecting it now. A little bit like, you know, when Cresswell gets it, wasn't it, first half? It's deja vu down this left-hand side, because all Target's doing is just getting the ball out of his feet and just putting it in between that area of uncertainty between the keeper and the defenders.
We must give a mention as well, again, for some of Target's crossing has been excellent. Just the sort of thing, you know, you in your pomp.
Yeah, no,
That's
absolutely.
Exactly
I mean, you can read that all day long, those sorts of balls.
Yeah.
Just got to make sure you get the run on the defender, get across him, you know, make that, you just get that yard. That's all you need to get across. But unfortunately for Southampton, when it does, you know, even if Long gets the yard that we're talking about, it's got to be absolutely perfect.
That's Steve Claridge, who played dozens and dozens, scores and scores of games in the Premier League, and once played the flute. West Ham leads Southampton by 2 goals to 1. Snodgrass back to Obiang, chips it forward, but Vestergaard comes across and clears it downfield, but Snodgrass got there first, and he's deflected it out of play for a Southampton.
Now, some questions I will just refuse to answer from now on, okay?
Okay, at least as long as we know where we stand. Here's Armstrong. Armstrong's ball just needed a little more pace on it for Long, but Long is able to win it back and work it to Redmond, who plays it square. Lemina's in! What a good save! What a good save from Fabianski, who got down to his right quickly. That was heading for the bottom corner, and Fabianski saved it.
It's exactly what you're asking of Lemina to get in. That's the first time that we've seen that race offside. Anyway, he's actually offside, so it wouldn't have counted. But that's the first time that I've seen someone get past the front player and make the extra and make the overload, make the extra man. You know, unfortunately, from a Southampton perspective, he's actually offside.
It was actually Redmond who was offside, and he slipped the ball through.
I don't think either keeper or Lemina knew that, though, did they?
No, they certainly didn't. So we can scratch that off the notes. Southampton 1, West Ham 2. When we got here tonight, Steve felt that the area that we were sitting in was too congested with equipment and such like, and wanted to sit in another seat.
Not me. You had a clear run, mate. Yeah. I had all the stuff my side. So let's just clarify that.
Yes, we have clarified it. And you moved to that seat, and now your television's broken down.
You taking high delight in the fact that. Yes, so that's wonderful.
Yeah. West Ham are winning by 2 goals to 1 here. We've got 15 minutes to play.
Nothing like the Christmas spirit, John. Thank you very much for that.
Well,
you're accusing me of being a humbug.
1 for all,
there we go.
All for 1. Throw in that Antonio will take. He's done well, hasn't he, Antonio?
Yes. And so aside from the goal, which he was caught napping a little bit, he's done excellent.
Yeah. Romeo back to Lamina.
Oh, look at that Carroll.
Andy Carroll has the ball.
Just had a bit of afters.
With Vestergaard, a little bit of to and fro. Redmond now targets ball in, but he was sliding as he hit it, but it bounced off Antonio, and it's another corner for Southampton.
Still remonstrating as well. Interesting, this little match-up for the corner.
Yes, we're going to have Andy Carroll back defending in the box.
Actually, he doesn't mark, does he? I forgot about that, Andy Carroll. He stands in a space.
In the space, yeah. Yes. He is in the 6-yard box.
Forgot about that.
And here is the delivery, which is headed away at the near post by Cresswell. Southampton work it back to the corner taker, Armstrong. Armstrong's ball deflected off Snodgrass. And Bednarek, under pressure from Snodgrass, has to go all the way back to Valerie. Valerie's high ball. Yoshida was coming from an offside position. And all of the West Ham defenders break out into a round of applause for that decision. And now we're going to see Mark Noble coming on as West Ham's second change, isn't it?
Lucas Perez.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Right.
It is.
That makes sense, that one.
He's not had the greatest night, Lucas Perez.
No, he hasn't.
Good chance in each half.
Lucas Perez to be replaced by number 16, Mark Noble.
So Mark Noble's coming on. I'm guessing they'll hand him the captain's armband when he eventually gets onto the field. Brilliant serve it. 31 years old now.
Look to shore it up, John, now.
31 years old Mark Noble walks onto the field, slaps hands. This is his 449th appearance for West Ham in his 15th season in the first team, in which time he's had 8 different managers. 8 managers in 15 years. And Cresswell throws him the armband, actually threw it onto the floor, and he had to pick it up. He's got it on his arm now. And he's on the field to see West Ham through to what would be a very notable victory, I think, taking everything into account. Long, racing for the ball on the far side, but can't reach it, and it runs out of play, and it's a throw.
3 Southampton substitutes warming up, and I don't think one of them is Charlie Austin. Would that be right?
Oh. No, he's not there.
No.
Which is a little, actually, I think he might be getting ready down on the bench, Austin. So I think they might be preparing to bring him on.
You're obviously seeing something Is he? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I just see the shirt coming off now, so...
If your television was on, you'd have known that.
Yes.
West Ham, 2-1 up.
I live and learn, mate. I live and learn.
Ball back to Diop. And now Ogbonna to the left-hand side. Cresswell high and long. Headed away by Bednarek. And now the ball is allowed just to roll out of play. And actually,
it'll be interesting this now. Who comes off?
Well, come on, Lamina.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's Yoshida, one of the central defenders.
Second substitution for the Saints coming off. Please show your appreciation for the 3-5 Yoshida.
And on 4-4-2, John.
Yep. And on comes Charlie Austin. 2 goals in his last 3 appearances, including the late winner here against Arsenal in the last home match. And he's handed a note, I notice, Charlie Austin, to Stuart Armstrong.
Oh, that is in vogue now, isn't it?
They love it, don't they?
The notes.
Do you ever do that at Salisbury?
No, absolutely not.
No?
No.
I have a feeling that no one would be able to read your...
Harsh but true, John. Harsh but true.
Yeah, I thought so. Right.
He hasn't gone 4-4-2, by the way. He's just stuck long
out
on
here
the left, yes.
Yeah. Right, we have just over 10 minutes to play. Southampton 1, West Ham 2.
So no change in shape at all for Southampton in that respect.
Bednarek, long ball through the middle towards Charlie Austin, but he was beaten to it by Diop. Andy Carroll up against Vestergaard. Now Snodgrass, back to Andy Carroll. Carroll drives across field pass, which very nearly reaches Anderson. But Valerie was able to step forward. Anderson tried to flick it past Valerie, flicked it out of play. Throw in over there to the home side. This would stop the mini resurgence right in its tracks. Well, I say that. I think there have been lots of encouraging things about Southampton's play here. And here's Vestergaard bringing it forward. Into the centre circle he goes. Little touch to his right, to the captain, Romeo. Armstrong wants it. He's dropped into a deeper position after the reading of that note from Ralph Hasenhüttl. Here is Target. Back to Armstrong. Now in towards Austin. Tried to turn Ogbonna. Takes it out into the full-back position. Long is there to take it up. Long's little ball. A flick. Back to Austin. Austin now. Right-footed shot. Deflected right across the box. Fabianski's able to reach it before it falls to Redmond. And the West Ham goalkeeper has the ball securely.
I think he might. I think we saw it first up a couple of times where, players coming across the box and taking too long to get their shot off. That might have been the case there for Charlie Austin. From where we are, we're directly behind him. Oh,
foul.
I think he could have got his shot off there. Is that Carroll again?
Yes, it is. This time it's Bednarek, I think, who has put in the challenge.
He looked like he led there a little. I'm not sure about that one with Carroll. From where we are, I'm interested to see exactly how he does lead, whether he leads with his arm or not.
Bednarek went in with the challenge, and just watching it now, the two have clashed heads actually as they jumped together. Andy Carroll headed the back of Bednarek's
head. Nothing in that at all. Both of them are looking at the ball, aren't they?
Yeah.
So absolutely nothing in that at all.
Yeah, and the West Ham fans are booing because Bednarek has been sent away from this, and in actual fact, it's been given as a free kick to West Ham. And Bednarek has been booked,
I was just looking at what Andy Carroll's doing, but I think by the looks of what... They're not just run into each other. I thought Bednarek... Did Bednarek step across him, or has he actually looked at him as Carroll's run into him?
Well, referee Paulson's seen something that he felt was worthy of a yellow card. Free kick taken in, headed by Long, bounces down for West Ham, into the D on the edge of the box. Noble actually digs out a pass to Carroll, who's going to do well to keep this in, and he gets there just before it bounces over the line and volleys it away. West Ham come again. Bednarek's Vestergaard's able to head down that pass forward. Long now, two West Ham players around him. Noble dispossesses Long as easy as you like, and then Noble, after Carroll gets an initial touch, been given away to Snodgrass. Snodgrass now into the full-back position. West Ham leading by 2-1, heading towards the closing stages. Carroll now being booed by the Southampton supporters after Bednarek was yellow carded for their coming together. Austin, deep inside his own half, plays a crossfield path, which falls into the path of Redmond. Redmond now has Valerie making a run forward. Redmond delayed his ball, and that meant that West Ham could steal it back through Anderson. Obiang back to Rice, into Carroll, and then West Ham go back into their central defence. Southampton 1, West Ham 2. The 3 goals came in an 8-minute period early in the second half. Southampton took the lead, scruffy goal scored by Redmond, but then 2 goals really well taken, both of them, by Felipe Anderson, who now has 8 goals this season. And with that, West Ham are heading for yet another win in December. It would be their 5th win of the month. Not as good as Liverpool, who've been perfect in December, but not bad.
No, not bad, I was going to say.
Antonio on a long run into the D. Oh, he sliced his shot horribly as the challenge came in on him from Vestergaard, and he hit it well wide, closer to the corner flag than the goal when it bounced out of play.
I think he just wanted the run to end, John. He looked so tired by the end of it. I think it was just get rid of the ball. It doesn't matter where it goes. I'm absolutely shattered. It's a great run. Just couldn't quite compose himself, settle himself for the final shot.
They'll have some fun about that, won't they? If they win the game, if they see this through, that'll be mentioned on the way back to Londinium. West Ham 2-1 up. Manuel Pellegrini comes and just gives a little bit of quiet advice. The engineer, this charming man, as he became known in Manchester. Antonio whacking the ball downfield. We're into the last 5 minutes now. West Ham leading by 2-1. 5 Live Sport on air till 10 o'clock tonight. Colin Patterson will be taking over then, sitting in for Phil Williams. as Anderson, challenged by Romeo, stretch in centre field from Obiang, who jumped into the challenge with Romeo. The ball runs out for Anderson, and he sees it to Snodgrass, but Vestergaard steeps forward. And now Vestergaard rolls it to Armstrong, still inside the Southampton half. Over the halfway line they go. Target, back to Armstrong. Armstrong now driving past the initial challenge from Obiang. Armstrong and Target, that's nice together. Long coming back from an offside position. And it's a free kick to West Ham. And Southampton are going to make what will be their final change. Mohamed El Younousi is coming on to take the place of Lamina.
Well, he got there in the end, John, but I think, I'm not going to say too little too late, that's the commentator's curse, but that is a change he should have made a long time ago.
This is El Younousi's first appearance under the new manager, Hasenhüttl, and is now 4 matches in charge. And the way it's shaping up, it's going to be 1-2, lost 2 if it stays like this. So El Younousi taking up a position on the right-hand side of the midfield. Ball forward, which is headed down by O'Connor to Austin. Feeling was from the home supporters that Ogbonna had nudged Austin over, but Southampton are back in possession. Less than 3 minutes of the 90 to go. Vestergaard's ball over the top, Target won't reach that. Through for a goal kick.
That's what they've done well, West Ham. Not allowed the game to get too big, not allowed the game to get stretched, stay with their runners, kept the shape, done their job defensively, and so far, since the second goal, have done well to close the game out.
2-1 West Ham lead. Lucas Fabianski taking as long as he can over this goal kick. West Ham win this, they'll move up to parity in terms of points with Everton and Watford. And Anderson's got away into the box on the left and shoots, and it had to be saved by McCarthy at his near post to push it round for a corner. It's like
right up there with the form table, John, after the first 4 or 5 games, mate. I mean, it's just, when you think about where they are now, 27 points. I think they're 27 points, 15 games, so they're averaging, last 15 games, nearly 2 points a game. It's not a bad ratio.
Snodgrass to take this corner, and we're now in the 89th minute. West Ham lining up 4 players in a line near the penalty spot. That's the England move. In it comes, it's headed away by Long for Southampton, and that will be allowed to bounce out of play and over the hoardings into the front row by Mark Noble. He waits for what must be a ball man to pick it up and throw it back to him. Then Noble leaves it for Cresswell to take, almost into the 90th minute. Anderson makes the run, had the chance for the hat-trick there. Cresswell, having taken the throw, does cross, and the ball lands on the roof of the net. We will see the 4th official coming forward very shortly to show us how much time will be played. Still have 45 seconds of the 90 minutes to play. Bednarek goes for a long ball forward, headed by Austin. Snodgrass got there for West Ham. Southampton take it up again. El Younousi plays it to the left-hand side. Target's ball in. Austin controls it near the D. Works it across to Redmond in the box. Redmond's pass cut out by Cresswell and then run away by Anderson, who was tugged back. And then Anderson runs it out of play, but the assistant has given the foul. Free kick to West Ham.
Great play. Best player on the pitch tonight, Anderson, no doubt about that. And also shows the other side of his game, which is to get back and help his full back out and clear up, any loose ball there is. Really good tonight from him.
There we are. David Coote, the 4th official, shows us 4 minutes of added time on his black electronic board. Ralph Hasenhüttl looks a little exasperated there as he's pacing from left to right. Manuel Pellegrini looks quietly content. Old Stoneface has done it again as the ball bounces out of play on the far side. He doesn't give much away with his facial expressions, Manuel Pellegrini, but He'll be enjoying what he's seeing here, and I think he's calling another substitute forward. I think he's going to make his final change now in added time at the end of this match. Throw in out on the left-hand side for West Ham, who are camped deep in Southampton territory. Cresswell gets the ball back, flicks it up. Anderson makes himself available. A little run by Noble near the corner flag. It is the West Ham captain who holds up the ball and then gives it back to Anderson. Anderson, little ball to Cresswell, who's still up there. Now Anderson again. Southampton try to smuggle it away, but it's bounced out of play for another throw into West Ham.
Let me make a guess here, John. West Ham making a substitution, and it will be the player who's the furthest away.
It's Snodgrass. Where is he? He's actually here on this side.
No.
Incredibly, they've missed a trick there.
Ridiculous.
Can't believe that. Snodgrass done well tonight again.
Yeah.
And it's Masuaku who's coming on, the left back.
Yeah. Real good, steady Eddie.
Very good.
Yeah. Neat, tidy. Everything, summed up everything about West Ham's performance tonight.
And Masuaku, looks as though he's actually going to play on the right here for the remainder of the game. 2 minutes of added time already been played. A number of Southampton fans are giving up the ghost now and heading towards the exits. It's all fallen rather flat tonight.
Yeah.
And it's the West Ham supporters that you can hear singing their songs as the ball is played back towards Antonio, who just pulled away from Long. Antonio then, under pressure, passed it straight out of play from Long. So it's a throw in to Southampton, halfway inside their own half.
Just about right, this, John, this scoreline?
I think so. Yeah. They've had the extra quality, haven't they?
That's it.
And Southampton,
I would have gone with that. I'll go along with that. Yeah.
As you've said almost throughout, Steve, Southampton have lacked the cutting edge.
Yes.
Austin plays the ball across. Really interesting to hear what Ralph Hasenhüttl has to say about that substitution, about the taking off of Ings and the bringing on of Long.
Don't get that. I did not get that one, mate, at all.
Redmond, ball through to Long. Right side of the penalty area, turns, gives it back to the right-hand side. Valerie with a deep cross, but it's too close to goalkeeper Fabianski, who's able to catch it comfortably.
I think what you can say is that Southampton, normally when you get in good areas, what you don't get is the final ball. But we've seen a great final ball today. You know, it's not, they haven't lacked that quality. They've got in the final third. We've seen some fantastic ball put in that box. What we haven't seen is numbers of people willing to attack quality ball into the box, which is strange. Normally it's getting that quality in that's the problem, but that hasn't been tonight. So that's the problem. It's getting someone on the end of it.
Final seconds. West Ham lead 2-1. BBC Radio 5 Live. Here is Armstrong. Armstrong on the left-hand side, but Carroll does well and is able to use his strength and eventually plays it forward and then hits it downfield for Anderson to chase. Anderson is onside. Only two Southampton defenders back. Anderson might go all the way himself. The angle's tight. He shoots. It's blocked by the legs of McCarthy. Still in the area. Shot on the turn from Rice. Deflected away and behind, and it's a West Ham corner.
Well, you've got the two best players of West Ham and the two best players on the pitch tonight. One in a defensive capacity in Rice, and the other in an attacking sense in Anderson, together there.
They look in good shape, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That
absolutely.
Injury list, the changes that he had to make, only named 6 substitutes.
There's enough good players, though, John, isn't there? You keep making excuses for people, make excuses for bad managers.
And there's the final whistle. And they are West Ham cheers of celebration inside St Mary's Stadium. And after the 2 consecutive wins under the new manager Ralph Hasenhüttl, it's all come to a grinding halt here with this West Ham win, which sees them win for the 5th time in the Premier League in this month of December. They've won 5 of their last 6, and West Ham, who started this season, don't forget, by losing their first 4 league games, they've reached the halfway point with 27 points, and what a good win that is here for them tonight, Steve Claridge.
Yeah, and they deserved it. They just about deserved that result. They come here, they were the better side on the night, the more cohesive unit, the unit that understood what their roles were. I didn't quite get as I said, the substitutions for Southampton, we said time and time again, the quality into box was great, just did lack numbers, lacked the balance in their side to get in and get on the end of it. So overall, the right result and the best player on the pitch was the match winner.
Yeah, two really good finishes from Felipe Anderson, the club record signing. But when he scores like that, that explains why they've paid all that money for him. And Manuel Pellegrini now getting an ovation, applauding towards the West Ham fans. Big cheers as well for the West Ham players there who are enjoying it, milking the moment, punching the air. Declan Rice, Mark Noble, Robert Snodgrass in front of the West Ham fans who will head back to London and elsewhere in really good heart. Steve Claridge, thank you very much for your company this evening. Good luck with Salisbury for the rest of the season. I probably won't see you again this season, the way things go.
He's hoping.
And the final score here, Southampton 1, West Ham 2.